What's going on, everybody? Let me start this video out like this. Now I've got the engine in. We had some issues with getting it going. Has some dirty injectors and other stupid little things. Changed the ECU from OBDO to my P72, and I was under the impression that the engine should have started and broke in on the OBDO ECU when you're using a jumper harness for the distributor, but for whatever reason that wasn't the case, and I had to go ahead and put the OBD1 ECU in, and then fired right up, and we got a lot further. So this is the current condition of the car. I figured everybody's seen people put the engine in the car. Didn't really film that. I know I said I was gonna film doing these brakes. Let me get a I went ahead and took these brakes all apart. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't shown you all the brakes in any other videos, but anyways, lightly resurfaced the disc, painted up my hat on the disc, went ahead and powder coated my calipers, tore those all down, cleaned them, inspected them, blasted them, and powder coated them. And if y'all want to see me tear a caliper down and show you how to inspect it, clean it, check it, rebuild it, let me know and I'll do that. I've got calipers laying around here I can do that with, so not a big deal. And checked all the rear drum and put some stainless hose, stainless lines on there, and rear drums were a little bit out of adjustment, and I didn't see a point in painting or coating those because eventually they're going to get changed and replaced anyways. You got to get a whole new drum. So this is where we're at. Current state, current condition. I've got to finish up some wiring on that jumper harness for the ECU. Got to wire in VTEC, pressure, NOx sensor, O2 sensor, and yeah, I mean, we're getting close. Still got to do the body work and everything, but I figured I'd throw this little update video together for y'all and let me get back to work and get a little further on this stuff. So thanks for watching. Alright, just wanted to show y'all guys making exhaust for the hatch LSV Tech. Got my back purge hose here. This is a fully stainless exhaust. Went and picked up some stainless from the junkyard, and you know, it's not bad. anyways, that's a shot of the stainless, some of the welds. Man, what else do I say at this point? Just thought y'all might like to see this. Junkyard stainless from stuff that they've scrapped out at the dairies. You know, it's not the most beautiful stainless you ever seen, but I'm pretty sure it's 316 stainless steel, and it won't ever rust. It'll last longer than the hatch is probably going to, so thought y'all might be interested in seeing this. Alright guys, so now I got a little bit more content for you, and this part of the video is let my cheapness and experiences be learning tools for y'all. So what I did is I bought an XTD clutch kit, stage 2. After getting it, day late, dollar short, I go on the internet and I do some review searches and whatnot, and I find that their stage 1, stage 2 clutches are absolute garbage. So yeah, day late, dollar short. Anyways, I get this kit with this flywheel, right? This is supposedly their 9 or 10 pound chromoly flywheel. Whatever, it is what it is. Get it all on here. Normally this is the way it works, right? You get it, you put it all on there, slap it on there, you know, because a flywheel is a flywheel and a clutch is a clutch. You put it all together, throw the tranny on, and it works. Well, you know, you bleed your clutch if you have to bleed it, whatever, it works. Not the case with this one. So I get the flywheel put on, get the clutch put on, get it all aligned, get it all put together. You know, I got the car running, and like I had said before, I was trying to initially start it and break it in with the OBD-O thing. That didn't work. Had to put the OBD-1 ECU in here, and got the engine running. So, you know, things are looking up. I'm doing good. I'm making good headway on the car. I just got done making, well, that was just last night, but anyways, so I made a full stainless steel exhaust on the car, and I actually, this is after the fact that I got the exhaust done. I was, you know, running the engine, shifting through the gears and whatnot, you know, just to make sure everything felt right. Everything seemed to work the way it was supposed to. Everything seemed good initially, so I put it in first, and I was just kind of sitting there letting it idle, and I pushed the clutch all the way in, hit the brake, and that killed the engine. I was like, well, that's not supposed to happen. What the hell's going on? Did further investigating. Ended up, the clutch wasn't disengaging at that time. I didn't know. I didn't have a dang clue why. You know, so we bled the master cylinder again, or we bled the clutch system again, and come to find out, I have to take the tranny off, and I'm looking at the clutch system, and the fingers on the clutch are not really sticking out a little bit. They're almost flat, so perfectly straight up and down with one another. And you know, I don't remember any other clutches I've done being that way. So I take it off, do a bunch of measurements. You know, I measure a stock flywheel that I have laying around. I'm not sure what it's off of, but the dang thing's heavy, which hence why I went with this lightweight flywheel. And you know, I'm looking at another pressure plate I have around here and comparing the two and this and that and taking measurements and whatnot. So long story short, come to find out that the clutch, the face surface here from the surface here where the clutch bolts This is a millimeter thicker than an OEM flywheel, so I'm losing a millimeter gap between my disc, my clutch disc, and so that's pulling my pressure plate down more to the flywheel, so I'm losing a millimeter on that side and I'm losing a millimeter on this side, so I'm losing 2 millimeters total. And yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why my clutch isn't slipping right when I push it in, and it's not disengaging and slipping like it's supposed to. Another reason why, check this out. Alright, so this is the pressure plate that comes with the XTD stuff, right? Let me see if I can get this. You see how far those spring clamps are pushing the actual pressure plate disc out. So that's a little different, not a huge problem, but different. This is another, I believe it's an off-brand, maybe an Exity. I don't remember what brand this one is, but it's another one that I had laying around. And that gap right there, right in here, is not quite as much as the other one, so this disc surface isn't as, not the same as the other one. Anyways, that's not a huge problem. I just wanted to show y'all that. The problem was these spring fingers being in too far, because where the pressure plate bolts to the flywheel was sucking it down too far. Anyways, from the spring fingers being in too far, and you know, me having to push on it real hard to try to get it to disengage, it was still rubbing around the very inside here because I was pushing on it so hard that it was flexing this plate right here where the springs are and making it still contact here, but where the spring fingers ride, chewed it up right here because I was having to push on it so hard that the spring fingers were contacting it right there, and that's what was flexing it and making it contact on the back side. So again, long story short, we found that if we just put a 1 millimeter spacer between where the pressure plate bolts to the flywheel, so space that 1 millimeter right there, that it'll be fine, or it should be fine. We're about to test that and try that. I'll update you and let you know how that goes. But yeah, this is just my misfortune due to my being cheap and not wanting to spend, you know, $500 or $300 on a more name brand clutch setup, because that's not really in my budget. So it is what it is at this point. We're gonna test this out. You know, you could just use some washers that are, I'm not sure the exact size. I know the inside diameter would be an 8 millimeter, the outside diameter maybe a 10 millimeter. As long as they're 1 millimeter thick, that should give you your clearance, and that'll make the fingers stick out 1 millimeter more, so you won't have to push them in so far, and it should let the clutch slip and not put any pressure on this part where the springs are, and should be in good shape. But like I said, we're about to do that. I'll get it all put back together, test it out, and I'll make another portion of this video letting y'all know how that went. So, to be continued. In just a minute. It's gonna be like not even a second for you guys, but it's gonna be, you know, an hour or two for me. So we'll see y'all here in a minute. Oh yeah, I just remembered I was gonna talk about this too, and that light is blinding this, and that one's kind of bleaching the camera too. Now give me that one. Alright, so I bought this oil cooler. It's a B&M oil cooler back in the day. Cooler slash relocation kit. Anyways, so I decided I was going to use it on this because I don't know of anything else I'm ever going to use it on. And so it comes with the relocation kit. I ended up putting the filter here, which ended up being a perfect spot. It's not too much trouble to, get the filter off and on and all that stuff. But anyways, so what I ended up doing, can I hold this dang light and the camera at the same time? So what I ended up doing is there's a filter adapter back there. Right there, and on that filter adapter right there it says in and out. Well, that's not correct for a Honda. The in is actually the out, and the out is actually the in. So from in on that adapter, you're going to run your hose over to the in on this relocation bracket where the filter is, and then on the out you're going to come and go to your cooler, which I got mounted up here in front of the radiator, and then you're going to come out of the cooler and go back to the port on that filter adapter relocation thing, and you're going to plumb it into the port that says out. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that, just in case y'all end up getting a B&M cooler slash relocation kit. I don't know if they're still even making them. Like I said, I got this back in the day, like early 2000s. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But anyways, if you ever come across one and you end up watching my video, now you know the ports on that adapter that go on the back of the block where the filter was are wrong. In means out, and out means in. Alright. Alright everybody, you're watching this video. It worked. Made the 1mm spacer for the pressure plate to the flywheel. Worked like a charm. Now the clutch works perfectly. So, learn from me, anybody who hasn't already been here, and best advice is don't cheap out on your clutch. I don't really want to badmouth XTD too much, because you get what you pay for ultimately. Cheap usually ain't good, and good's usually not cheap. So, yeah, that's my advice to y'all. Spend a little bit of extra money for your clutch. You won't have these stupid headaches like I had, and yeah, everything will be good. You can do the original OG thing of getting the clutch and everything, slapping it in there, and it's good to go. So, thanks for watching this video. I'll see what more I can't bring y'all. Hopefully I can get y'all some stuff of this setup, tearing up the streets, the track, something. We'll see where this whole COVID thing leaves us here in the near future. And catch y'all later.